Castles are real. They're not just something you see in fairy tales. And not only are they real, but they're extremely luxurious. So luxurious, in fact, that you can't even buy most of them. Yes, there are some things that money can't buy. So, where are these castles, and do they look as cool as they do in the fairy tales? Find out on this episode of Luxuryland. If you're new, please tap that luxurious subscribe button and do a cha-cha on that like button so that we can continue to provide you the luxury content you deserve. Neuschenstein Castle. The castle we're starting with is located in the largest state in Germany, Bavaria, and it is said to be the inspiration behind the Sleeping Beauty Castle. The castle was built on order of King Ludwig II in 1886, right above the village of Hohenschwangau. The castle boasts towers as high as 213 feet and a very luxurious throne hall. The Neuschenstein Castle costs $250 million, but you can't buy it. You can, however, visit it for 13 euros, but bring your hiking boots because the castle covers 65,000 square feet. Hearst Castle Estate. The Hearst Castle Estate has 4 buildings containing 165 rooms and sitting on 127 acres of meticulously cared for gardens. The grounds are like a melting pot of cultures from around the world. The courtyards have sculptures imported from Egypt, the pool has Roman columns, and the chambers have artistic, decorated ceilings from Spain. The castle looks over the town of San Simeon, holding a price tag of $700 million. Royal Chateau, Versailles. King Louis XIV transformed this location during the late 17th century into a display of his nation's immense wealth, and that he did. The Royal Chateau Versailles is located on 86 million square feet with 2,300 rooms. Inside, there's a hall of mirrors with 357 mirrors on the gallery walls and even a gallery of great battles. This castle is also not for sale, but would be worth $200 to $300 billion if it was. The richest man in the world couldn't even afford that. Buckingham Palace. This is the most famous royal home in the world. The Buckingham Palace has 39 acres and is protected by the Queen's Guards 24/7. Inside you will find 775 rooms. 188 for staff, 92 are offices, and 52 are opulent bedrooms for family, just to name a few. There's even an indoor swimming pool where the young royals learn to swim. All this luxury gives the palace a $5 billion valuation. Ashford Castle. Off to Ireland now, we find Ashford Castle on 350 acres of wooden parkland. If you were to step inside, you'd see multicolored chandeliers, oak panels lining the walls, and centuries-old artwork adorning the space. Ashford Castle is now a 5-star hotel that costs 400 to 900 euros per night to stay. A man named Gary Barrett bought the property for 50 million euros in 2007 and then put it up for sale right after. So what are we doing, buying it or staying as guests? If we're buying it, you go ahead and I'll just pay you back. Chateau de Chambord. In central France, the Chateau de Chambord features a decorative moat and garden that just went through a multi-million-dollar restoration. Its 20 miles worth of walls sits on a massive 13,442 acres of land. Inside, there are 426 rooms, 282 fireplaces, and 77 staircases, Hogwarts style. There's no official valuation, but this castle is easily worth billions. Fredericksburg Castle. Fredericksburg Castle is in Denmark, and it was once the luxury home of King Christian IV, former ruler of Denmark and Norway. Now it's a museum of national history due to a fire destroying everything but the chapel and audience chamber in 1859. The royal family rebuilt the castle and repurposed it as they decided to move somewhere else. Historical paintings and luxurious rooms still give the castle its flair, and it all probably would cost around $500 million. Biltmore Estate. This is another castle we have in the United States that can try to compete with the rest of the world. The Biltmore Estate is a 250-room French Renaissance hotel in Asheville, North Carolina, featuring luxurious amenities like a 70-foot ceiling in its banquet hall. Most impressively, the grounds are highlighted by a 15-acre azalea collection. Anyone looking to snatch up this property will pay a cool $157.2 million. Schwerin Castle. The Schwerin Castle is located in Germany and is said to be haunted by its ancient housekeeper. That's enough to have me skip on to the next castle. However, the castle still contains enormous windows and oozes sophistication. The Schwerin Castle sits on an island protected by a moat, and today the rooms house the state parliament. Himeji Castle. Himeji Castle is hailed by many as the standard for classical Japanese architecture. The castle was built as a fortress for war in 1300, but today gives off a peaceful vibe. The castle sits on 533 hectares covered in fir trees and Japanese cypress. It's been featured in many Japanese films and by 2015 had 2 million annual visitors. These were the most luxurious castles in the world. Which one of these would you most like to visit? Let me know in the comments below. Click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen. And thanks for visiting Luxury Land.